Hello. I'm often thanked for raising Chris as our son. And make my big entrance here. The truth of the matter is, Chris has been outstanding since the day he was born. He was one of many born that day, and all but one of them were named Chris, or some form of Chris. But he was the only one in the nursery with black feet. He was anxiously stamping to exit the womb, and he bruised his feet. And everyone was talking about the baby with black feet. So Chris Brogan's name was very prominent within 24 hours of his birth. Now, the fact of the matter is, Steve and I always considered our children to be gifts from God. And we considered them to be gems, to be treasured, protected, polished to the best of our abilities for about 18 years. And at the end of that time, we'd give them back to the world and let them make their own way and make their own choices. They had to be free to do what they wanted. Now, the fact of the matter was, Chris wasn't always perfect, and some areas needed a little bit more polishing than others.
But as far as performing, Chris was a performer at a very early age. He continues that to this very day. He was very happy to be the MC at the variety show at the Child Care Center where we left him to while we did our high-tech jobs. He also was like a star rock performer with his brother. They both played guitar, and they would go to the Red Barn, and they would be part of the repertoire there. So performing was never a problem for him. In addition to stage, he took to the Mac very easily. When we first got our home computer, the first one and only one that we had that we could agree on getting happened to be a Macintosh 128 with a dot matrix printer. Woohoo! Well, he was able to make that machine hum, and before long, he used the modem that we attached to it, and he was onto the bulletin boards and chatting and what have you, and I think this is the start of it, but little did we know what that bulletin board was all about. We did not have a clue back then.
Fast forward to today, when, Chris loves to share. And when he joined Twitter, he wanted us to join the fun. But I really couldn't get into it because I didn't want to be interrupted every time somebody tweeted. And it took me a while to understand that it wasn't like a phone and I didn't have to answer it every time it buzzed. But Chris didn't say anything, and he'd come over to the house and he'd answer a tweet and he'd laugh, and I'd say, "Oh, what was that? What was that all about?" And he's, "Oh, just Twitter." Well, it didn't take me very long to get interested in Twitter. And Twitter gave me a whole new perspective on the world. And I started following Chris, and I branched off from there, and pretty soon I had my own friends, my own community. And so now I get up in the morning and I check Liz Strauss and see if she sent me any pictures of the sun, and I say good morning to the Sunshine Girls and my other friends. And last year, in February, I was named one of Twitter's top 75 badass women. It's just the title that's really bad, okay? These hardworking women all come from all over the world, and they've really broadened my view of life. They are brilliant, helpful, supportive, friendly, kind, and fun to be with. My days would be quite lonely without Twitter. And there's this lovely lady, and her Twitter name is Sweet Soaps. Her name is Ellen Cagnasola, and today she brought me my soap, and it says the BA75, and this is our emblem. So I got soap today, and so pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's good. We're going to get cleaned up. That's great. Well, Chris has influenced in every step of the way. This is why I think the title, we didn't tell what the title was, but it's, Chris Brogan, influencer. And he's influenced us. I mean, we did come to the 21st century, but he dragged us into the social media side of the 21st century. He led by example, and we followed, but we did things our way, because there is no wrong way, or as Chris puts it in his "you're doing it wrong" posts, meaning someone is always going to find fault with what we do. Now, I like poker. I like poker players, poker games, poker people, poker stories. Did I say I have an interest in all things poker? Well, Chris recognized this, and he actually had set up for me a blog and allowed me to talk about poker, and the blog is called Dad's Poker Blog, and that's helped me come out of my social shell and at least share with others. And back in the day, we had groups of online players, and this allowed us to, I digress a little bit, but we used to be able to play online, and this is where social media comes in. We had poker sites like PokerStars and Full Tilt Poker, and we would chat in the little chat windows, you know, like Nice Hand and things like that. And the poker players themselves, we would get on Twitter and say, "Oh, you donkey, what a move you made." So we could use Twitter to have one stream of consciousness going while using the site's own chats to say the appropriate things to them. So it allowed us to, you know, open up a little bit more. We had, you know, a huge membership at the time before the Department of Justice closed it down. And we still continue to this day to talk through Twitter, through Facebook, although as a group, Google Plus is not being taken too seriously yet by, say, the poker community as a group, although we're attempting to be involved in it, so we're at least on the three media platforms, if you will.
Chris thought it'd be fun for Steve and I to explain technical things to older folks, so he helped us set up a blog called Mom Pop Pow. That one didn't work out quite as well because we learned that there are many other blogs explaining technical to older people and doing much better than we thought we could. So Steve and I just use that to talk about things that interest us. Some folks would say that that's wrong because we don't make a valuable contribution to the internet, but that's okay, we're still in development. And one thing that bothers me and saddens me is that people say that their family doesn't understand them. Maybe you just need a little bit more communication. Or maybe you need to get them an iPad or a tablet and give them a connection to the internet and just set them up and let them use it. And again, we follow Chris's influence and gently give pointers on how things can be done.
Right. I was even contacted by Rich Tucker, that's his Twitter handle, and Pop Tucker is his father, and he's trying to get him involved as well. So we're trying to reach out and influence him as Chris has influenced us.
With a little bit of knowledge and a smartphone, you can have the whole world in your hand.
Thank you.
Thank you.